At 42, they said my career's over. At 43, I was a heavyweight champ of the world. When I was a kid, I wanted to be a wrestler more than anything. And I tried it when I was 22, it didn't work out for me. And then I finally got my opportunity in WCW at 35 years old. My career blew up. 97 and 98, I was on top of the world, just signed a multi-million-dollar deal, and then I blew my back out. I ruptured my L4 and L5, and they told me, 3 different spine specialists told me I was never gonna wrestle again. You wanna talk about emotional gravity, pulling myself down? Man, I was as low as low can go. But that's when yoga came into my life. First 42 years of my life, I'm a guy who wouldn't be caught dead doing yoga. But I just signed a multi-million-dollar 3-year deal. Plus I wasn't ready to walk away. So I started doing yoga. And it really was starting to help me. I could feel the difference in my body in 3 weeks. So what I did is I mixed the rehab, the yoga, the old school calisthenics, and something I call dynamic resistance. What ended up happening is I ended up creating what today is known as DDPY. Bottom line is, in less than 3 months, I was back in the ring. At 42, they said my career's over. At 43, I was a heavyweight champ of the world.
You know, it's funny, we used to tease him because he was always older than like the group that we all hung out together. He was always older than us because he started later. You know, now he's in better shape than all of us put together. Yeah, joke's on us. I mean, I'm still suffering all the aches and pains, you know, and brutalities from my career, but as much as what I've spent on it, it's a fortune. I'm still paying. I mean, I still see a chiropractor twice a week. I mean, I think my heart attack cost me 60 grand. I herniated 3 discs in my lower back, which was just brutal. And I also destroyed my shoulders so badly that the head orthopedic surgeon for the Atlanta Braves, he said I had the 2 worst shoulders he's ever seen. I'm proud of that. I wish I would have started DDPY before I got into business, or when I got into business, before I had all these injuries. See, now it's like I'm playing catch up.
As important as my DDPY workouts are, that's 10% of the equation. The 90% is between your ears. This 6-inch piece of real estate, the story that you tell yourself on a daily basis. I think the biggest challenge of anybody that I've helped, especially for Money to the Boys, would be Jake.
I did wrestling the wrong way. My father was a wrestler. He was much bigger than me. He was 7 foot and 425 pounds. And being a kid, he was my dad. And I looked up to him and wanted him to love me. And I was the first in my family to graduate high school. I didn't even show up for that. But I went to visit him because I was angry. Told him that I was going to go to college, that I wanted to be an architect. And he said, well, that's fine. He said, I hope you don't want anything from me. You know, somehow worked it out in my mind that if I wanted my father to be proud of me, I had to go out and do what he did. So I went down and beat on the ring apron during a show and challenged a guy that was in the ring. And 15 minutes later, I'd urinated on myself and defecated on myself, and had been screaming for pretty much the whole time as he tied me up in knots and twisted me up. And I crawled out of the ring to the locker room. And my father was waiting for me as I came through the doors, and he looked down at me and said, I'm ashamed of you, you're gutless, and you'll never amount to anything. So I decided right then to become a professional wrestler, to break it off in his ass.
Jake Snake Roberts, without him, I'm not sitting here right now. Giving back to him and helping him get his life back together was a huge thing for me.
My quality of life, it went to 0. I'd become hopelessly addicted to alcohol and cocaine, doing cocaine daily for about 15 years. A lot of close calls with the law, with death. I tried to quit, came out of one rehab, and literally after 3 months, and made it a grand total of 15 minutes before I got high again. I actually called the drug dealer and had him meet me at the exit of the rehab. I reached a point in my life where I no longer wanted to live. Dallas contacted me, told me he had this new program that he was doing. He's like, look, I need you here so I can watch you, so I can monitor you. In the beginning, I thought I'd last a week before it would just be a complete mess. But I made it a week, and then I made it 2 weeks, then I made it 3 weeks. Oh my God, I made it a month.
It never really clicked with him until he started to change the story he told himself. Because certain stuff you just can't change. And is it still a challenge for him? I'm sure it is. But at least he's in a way better spot than he was when he started.
Doing DDPY yoga, you're able to get down on the floor and play with the grandkids. You're able to chase them around the house.
The lowest thing, the worst moment that was in my life, in my whole wrestling career, getting my career taken away from me, turned out to be the best thing. Guys like The Rock, Trump, Obama, Tom Brady, LeBron James, they all go down. Those guys, they don't stay there. They get right back up.